Alright, y'all. Welcome back. I'm Novi. Y'all need to fall asleep. And this is Novi's Machinations ASMR. This is obviously a special one because we reached 500 subscribers. And thus, like I promised, I'm doing a hair reveal. And I'll talk about my journey with hair and my philosophy with hair. So, before I do that, I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your views, your shares, subscriptions, likes, comments, your well wishes, your good energy. I appreciate it, and I hope that you feel the reciprocal effect of it. I like this little community that we got here, where we can all just vibe out, talk, chill, sleep. It's a beautiful thing, and I didn't know we would get 500 subscribers this fast. That's still crazy to me, but here we are. And right now I'm in a park. I'm in the parking lot of a park. It's kind of loud, but hopefully nothing too crazy. Hopefully nobody accidentally presses their alarm button or something like that. Anyway, without further ado, this is my hair. It's not very long right now, but I'm hoping with time that it'll change. So, going back to when I was a kid, my hair was never really long. It would get to this point, and then I would get a haircut, and I always got the exact same haircut, except for 2 times. I always got a number 1 buzz cut with a lineup, and that was just how I was raised. But starting in high school, I wanted to grow out my hair. So the first time I tried it, I just let my hair grow, but I didn't do anything. I did not deep condition it. I didn't cover it to keep it from breaking off. So I ended up with hair that grew up, but not out too much, because I would lay on my sides and I would pull out my hair follicles. And then I thought, oh well, I've got to pick out my hair completely every single time, and that caused me to lose a lot of hair. So then I tried a blowout kit, and I got a chemical burn on my head. I'm already tender-headed, and I had this part right here where whenever I would touch it for probably a month or two, it would be it hurts. So I tried a bunch of that stuff when I was 17, 18. And then I took my grown out hair and I got a flat top, a Gumby. I got the haircut Tupac had in Juice, where you had the line to go like that. To date, that's the most I ever spent on a haircut. And that haircut was $26 back in 2016. I used to have a picture of it, and it's safe to say I tried to nurse that haircut and maintain it for a year, but it got a little scraggly. The flat top had seen better days after a year or so, or I want to say 6 to 8 months. So then I just cut my hair down and started growing it again, but cut it down, grow it, cut it down, grow it. By this time I would do it every 6 months, because I was busy a lot with work. Well, the first time I actually got serious about growing out my hair, where I actually tried to do things the right way, was 2 years ago. My hair was probably a little longer than this. I did a big chop and took it all the way down. No, time I got a different haircut was back in 2019, where I just had like a little notch put in like right here. But other than that, it was pretty much the same. And low key, when I went for that haircut, they cut my hair too short. Like I wanted to have it where like you couldn't see scalp, like like maybe like a 2 or 3 guard, depending. Yeah, I think like a 2 guard is what I wanted, but they ended up doing a 1 guard. And I know people know the feeling of like you're in the chair and they start out and your hair is lower than you wanted it, but you just sit there like, and that was pretty much it. Like, it wasn't a bad haircut, it just wasn't what I was looking for. So, oh well, technically 3 times, and the 3rd time we'll figure in a little later, but so I got different haircuts like 3 times in my life. The juice haircut, the one with the notch in it, and the 3rd one, which I'll get to later. Anyway, I started growing out my hair like just before my birthday in 2024. And this time, I would wash it. I'd always wash my hair, but I'd never condition. But I'd wash, condition. I started wearing bonnets, but they were the small kind, so they would slip off a whole lot easier. And really, like, you can't see it from here, but I kind of have a big head, so a regular size bonnet with like the regular like cap to it barely fits my head, so I go for bigger bonnets. Like, I don't have the hair length for them yet, but they can move around a lot easier and they're less likely to come off. They still do, but hey, what are you gonna do? So, my birthday's in March. I grew out my hair until like September, and then I got an undercut. Or like, not like an undercut, but like a taper, like right here and back in the kitchen. And the funny thing is, like, literally just after I got it, like, I was feeling myself. I went to go get gas, and somebody drove away with the gas nozzle still in their tank, and they were next to me, and the nozzle broke and flung gas all over me, like in my eyes, on my hair, on my face. It was terrible. Like, I actually had to go to the hospital because I went home and I tried to wash it off, and it started hurting even more. Anyway, I kept the undercut, I kept the taper, and just kind of grew it out and hoped that it would like blend in and look normal, which it still didn't, because you're dealing with like 2 completely different lengths of hair. Like, right now, I've been growing my hair out since March, and right now it's the beginning of August, so my length is about, if you can see that, I'm like right there where my fingers are. Anyway, I had to do that big job to like start from 0 and not have that taper, like making things look uneven. The other thing I did, I stopped wearing headbands. Like, I was rocking headbands from like, I want to say like 2021 all the way up to like late last year, 2025. Because the thing is, I would wear headbands, but they wouldn't be the silk lined kind. And these headbands were slowly, like, they were thick, like it would cover my forehead. just see my hair coming out of the top. It would rip out my hair follicles, and like once again, it's like back at square one where I have a lot of growth at the crown of my head, like right here on top. But then the sides are all cut short and hacked up, and that was no go. And I spent a few months trying to figure out, like, can I wait for it to grow out? Can I treat it right and have things like catch up? And I wasn't seeing any progress. So I'm like, okay, big chop time. And this time I'm gonna do everything right. So now what I do is I usually have a do-rag or a bonnet on pretty much anytime. Like the only time I don't have anything on my head, like often, is when I shower for obvious reasons. You need that moisture. So now when I shower, I wash my hair, I deep condition, then I've put on, like, I have plastic bonnets that I can put on that keep the heat and the moisture in. I do it sometimes. Most of the time, though, I just use like one of my regular bonnets, and it works well. Like, it keeps the moisture in, but it doesn't like trap everything. It kind of lets my hair dry out gradually, like not to the point where it's like soaking wet, but to the point where like I can touch it and it feels slightly damp. It feels moisturized, and that has the benefit, combined with the leave-in conditioner, and then like this, I don't know if gel's the right word, but it seals in the moisture, it seals in the hair food. At that point, it's like, even now I can touch my hair, and while my hair isn't wet, it's not dried out, like it feels healthy. The other thing I do, which I started back in 2024, I started taking supplements. So now I take biotin for my hair, and it's changed the texture of my hair. So before I started taking care of my hair, I thought I just had one texture, and I'm still not really good with them. So I'm gonna use colloquial terms to describe like my hair. With taking the biotin, I don't even know if you can see it. Like, if my hair were wet, all of them would be laid down, but I have, like, my baby hairs came back. In here, I have a lot of, like, tight coils. Like, I have some 4C. I know I have some of that. Then, like, some of my hair, like, and it's all mixed together. Some of it's tight curls, some of it's looser curls, some of it's straight. Like, it's crazy. So my texture is like a hodgepodge. And one of my favorite things to do now is, like, sometimes I'll take my bonnet off and I'll just like run my hands through my hair because it feels really comfortable. Like, and another thing, if you're trying to grow out your hair, don't use a regular brush. Get a 10-minute brush. Oh, there's some people talking. Oh. But anyway, I use a 10-minute brush to like detangle when my hair is still wet from the shower. I do that once in a while. At this length, I don't really need to do it often. That's the sort of thing that I don't need to do when it gets longer. So probably by like Christmas, I'm gonna start doing that. And then, like, when I was still trying to save my hair before I did the latest big chop, I tried protected hairstyles. So here's the thing, I don't know how to braid hair. I should learn. And I'll be real with you, I am tender-headed. Oh, and that actually brings to mind another thing. When I was growing out my hair in 2024, I'm trying to figure out, was it? I think it was after the taper. Yeah, so after I got the taper, I then tried to get locks. this is actually funny to me. So, most people would like go to a loctician and like have a consultation. I didn't do that. At the time, I ran into like this lady at work. She was a customer. And she was like, "Oh, I do locks. I can do starter locks for you." So I paid her like $150 and she did them, but wow, that guy like shot out of that parking spot. That was abrupt. Dude's not using a controller, he's using the arrow keys on the keyboard. If you know, you know. Anyway, so she did starter locks and they were all like kind of lopsided and uneven. And she like detangled my hair, but I bought this pack of combs, and she broke every comb trying to detangle my hair. It was to the point where like my tender-headedness was just like I was in pain. Like I had to actually tell her like, I need you to stop so I can like get myself together so I can take it. Cause I had like tears coming down my eyes, and in retrospect I realized she really didn't know what she was doing. Like she was chill, but she didn't know what she was doing. But she made me a nice dinner, and I got to try butter pecan ice cream, and that's how I learned that is my favorite flavor. So I would say that alone is worth $150 or whatever it was I paid her. I had those in for like 24 hours. I don't even know if I could find the picture still. But yeah, I took them back out because my head was like, they were too tight. It felt like someone was like yanking the skin off my head. Like this, like pulling it back. Also, I found out, like, in a little bit of research, like, oh, if you get locks, it can, like, recede your hairline. And as you can see, I already have a fairly big forehead, so I don't think I need any help receding my hairline. So, there was that. It was actually, wild. So now my idea is I just want to grow up my hair. Like I'm gonna grow it out into a big afro, and when it gets so big that like if I'm sitting in this seat right now, my hair would be pushed down. I'll just put it in like puff at the back of my head or something like that, you know, and then like wear it out, put it back up, puff, and just alternate between those two things. So that's where I'm at right now. So, feeling good about my hair. Like, I like to feel it. It really is like, tactile wise, it feels so interesting and comforting. Like, I actually want to play with my hair right now and just like do it for the rest of the video. I'm just afraid, like, I might bump into something and make a loud noise because I'm trying not to like bump my window or bump the headliner, because this is the base model, so there isn't much insulation. Like if you watch the video where I'm driving, you probably heard like the rattles and squeaks. But I like feeling the tight curls. And there's especially a lot of them right here, like at the crown of my head. See, I feel like I'm running out of stuff to talk about with my hair, but I know there's more. Like, that can't be it. Oh, I did have my Cantu phase where I there's like the hair food that I use. It's like nature's something. I actually should have brought it with me so I could like show you the stuff. But I'm thinking of doing a video like at the crib. I know I've mentioned that the last couple times, but I'm still like trying to get the setup just right. It's not even gonna be crazy. It's just I want it to be like functional, but where I could still like stop the camera and fall asleep, or like wake up and just start the camera. So that's coming, and I suppose when I do that, hold on. I had to cover up that burp right quick. So when that comes, I'll show you like the different products I use. But it's like nature's something, and it's I forget the scent or like the type. Like flavor's not. I don't know if flavor's the right word because you don't eat hair food, but variation. I don't even know, but that's really good. I mix it with distilled water and I put it in a misting bottle. And sometimes, like before I put my do-rag on, I'll mist my hair, just work it in with that mixture, and then do-rag on, and I'm out the door. Sometimes when I don't feel like doing anything with my hair, like putting on the do-rag and tying it just right, and making sure the bands are like open and not like kind of scrunched together, I'll just leave the house in a bonnet. I'm a firm believer in working smarter and not harder, and a firm believer in wearing clothes that are comfortable. It's like sometimes when I go to work, I wear like a sweatsuit and a bonnet, and like my permanent uniform for the summer is shorts, t-shirt, do-rag. So anyway, I'm still working with it. I'll do more videos without like a cut, without like a hat or anything, without a bonnet or a do-rag. But I really like to do it because I want to make sure that if I lay down, there's something protecting my head. Because if I get tired, I will straight up forget, if I don't already have something on my head, to put something there to protect my hair. And it's been going pretty good. I mixed good and well. Wet, like what? That's actually a cool noise. Like I should do an unintelligible whisper video, and I should what? Like that sounds like you're talking, but it's just complete gibberish. So that is my hair journey. Like it's been a wild ride. I'm learning little by little. And hey, if you are on your hair journey and you haven't found what works yet, don't be afraid to try different stuff. Just keep pushing. Also, the internet has been a big help. Like the internet took it from being like this mysterious thing where like everybody tells you different stuff to do. Everybody tells you you have to have a lot of steps. I like something that's easy, that's intuitive, where I can do it without really thinking. Like when I go home, I'm gonna take a shower and I don't even have to think about what I need to do in my hair. I'm just gonna do it. But I'm looking forward to having more length. I'm looking forward to it growing slowly but surely, because I know it won't happen overnight. And you know, hey, I'm just in it for the long run. Like I wanna have my hair like beyond this window. Like just out. And the protected hairstyle I would do before I did this last big drop, because I couldn't do bantu knots, I couldn't braid, I would just take my hair, section it off, poorly I might add, and just section it off into little like puffs and kind of curl them in on themselves, like little buns. So like I would do like 2 here, 1 here, maybe 2 or 3 in the back, and then I would put a bonnet actually it actually would look interesting. So that's what I would do. I'm probably gonna do that again unless I find something that works better or is more intuitive. But that's pretty good for me. But yeah, that's pretty much my journey with hair. You know, right now as I'm recording this, I'm at like I want to say like 420 subscribers. So I wanted to record this because I was like, I need to record this before the week is over. That way it can go up and like I can just have it sitting there. So when I hit 500, it drops. Like not like 100 subscribers where by the time the video comes out, I'm like closer to like 150 or 200. So trying like different things. I got a lot in store for you guys. And I also before I bounce, I also want to talk to you guys about the clotted cream and how that went. So clotted cream is good. It's just that can't be the only thing you use. So if you don't know, a scone is basically like a biscuit, but in England. But they wouldn't call it a biscuit, they call it a scone because they call cookies biscuits. There's a guy on YouTube where like he makes like duplicates of himself in the video, and he has like an American version, an English version, and an Australian version, and he'll go through like the different words they have for things. So in America, they'll be like, take French fries. In America, we call them French fries. In England, they will call them chips. And then in Australia, they will call them hot chips. So, stuff like that. Anyway, let this be a PSA. If you make clotted cream, make sure the stuff you put it on has flavor. Like, clotted cream adds richness. But you wouldn't want to like eat it with a spoon because it's one of those things where it's so rich. Like if you ate like a lot of it, you'd be like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I made the scones and I put like a little vanilla bean paste in them. That way they would have flavor. And then I got blackberry preserves, which are really good, by the way. And I would have the blackberry preserves with the clotted cream on the scones. So delicious. I still have some blackberry preserves and some clotted cream. I need to make more scones. But if you have like 12 hours to cook it or bake it, and you have like $10 to spend on 2 pints of really good cream, give it a try. Low-key, you know what clotted cream would go really well on? Pancakes. Instead of butter, like use clotted cream and then maple syrup. That would be good. And I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to pancakes, once you go the maple syrup route, you can never go back to pancake syrup. Like when I was a kid, I was Mrs. Butterworth's all the way. But now, like after trying maple syrup, yeah, it's as expensive as gold. But it's so good. And I don't know if y'all ever been to like, well, I'm from New England, so like if you're in New England or Canada or a place like that, they produce maple syrup around here. Like, so I got to see how they collect the sap, how you could take like, I think it takes like 100 gallons of maple sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. I think, like, don't quote me on that or nothing, but it's like some crazy proportion like that. I was a kid, I actually went on this field trip in elementary school, and we went to a maple farm where they would do that. It smells so good, and then like that was where I learned you can make maple sugar. Like if you let it crystallize, it can become like granulated sugar kind of. They gave us this like candy. It was like the size of a Reese's peanut butter cup, but it was just like it was a little cake of maple sugar, and it was real good. Yep. That was where my love affair with maple syrup started. So kind of an odd way to end a video that started off being about hair and 500 subscribers, but there it is. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for 500 subscribers. I know this is kind of like underwhelming, like I don't know, like this wasn't like what you'd find under Double D's ad on Ed and Eddy, but I hope at least the ramble was enjoyable for you guys, because I love making these videos. I love talking to y'all, sharing stuff about my day, about my life, funny stories, random quips, and like thoughts and things like that. So congrats to 500 subscribers. And I don't know why I feel like for 1,000 subscribers I need to have like I feel like that's like a cake sort of thing, but I'm not gonna get a whole cake. I'd probably just get a really good cupcake and put a candle in it. That would, but I wouldn't know. I don't know what I'd do for 1,000 subscribers, because that would be the next milestone that we will reach. I also have like a crazy idea of like just like random subscriber count numbers, like instead of like 1,000 subscribers, it would be like 1,037 or something like that, or like 5,239, which is a number that I chose intentionally because of Ed and Eddy. I'm gonna make myself laugh because I'm so unserious. Like, all right, before I bounce, there was an episode of Ed and Eddy where they decided to stop following all rules. And so Eddy is in Double D's room, and he's like changing his alphabetically organized books. And then Ed ends up knocking over Double D's ant farm, and Double D his hat is tied to the light, and he's trying to hold the hat to his head, and he forgets to keep holding it, and it comes off. And Eddy and Ed are like, "Geez Louise, cool. If you say anything to anybody, I'll never speak to you again." And then Ed picks up the ant farm, and Double D is like, "Oh, put them down, Ed. You leave my ants alone." And he spells them, and he shrieks, and Double D strangles Ed with his legs, and he's like, 5,239 ants, Ed. Pick them up, pick them up. 5,239 ants, Ed. Pick them up, pick them up. I'm sorry. Slow down, Double D. Where do you think you're going? And the ants are just like wreaking havoc for the rest of the episode. Like they're stealing ice cream and everything. That is like the Looney Tunes of my generation. But I think everybody needs to have a good laugh. So if you made it this far, I hope that made you laugh. And I was about to say without further ado, and I'm leaving. Like I'm about to introduce something else. Alright. Thank you for joining me on this video. You guys are gonna get to see this journey in real time. Like I'll take off my do-rags and bonnets more often, but I probably want to be at home to take off a do-rag, because when I tie my do-rag I need like a mirror, because I like to get the seam like perfectly center it. And I like to get like the tails nice and flat. It also feels more comfortable that way. But anyway, you'll see my hair again. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all y'all's support. And I'm gonna catch you in the next video. And this time I'm gonna see if I can actually put a thumbnail so you can't see my hair in the thumbnail. You actually have to watch the video and watch at least like 1 second to see it. I should experiment with thumbnails, but I don't want to like the AI brain rot. He shows his hair. This one secret. Like, I don't want to do those. I just want to like do like a still thumbnail. So I'm gonna see if I can do that. But I'm gonna swear I'm gonna say peace to you